Hello and welcome to how I play my level 105 Mage. So today we're going to talk about spells, we're going to talk about my pet, we're going to talk about stuff, gear, whatnot. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video. I got a comment on one of my last ones talking about Fickle, and we'll do a little talk about that here too. So let's talk about my spells first. So first spell I have is Twin Cast. This allows us to twin cast any spells. I will never demem this spell. It never gets upgraded again. The only upgrades you can do to it are getting rank 2 or 3 from the, I believe it's the Seeds of Destruction expansion. But it requires a raid to do 3. So we'll eventually get to there, but it's not a big deal right now. Next up I have Remorseless Servant, which is our current level swarm pet. If we just cast this, it throws a little pet out there. You see there's one gargoyle. It also gives us Conjurer's Synergy. Now, so this is a thing I've been talking about this whole entire time. You know, be ready to do this. You know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and it has happened. Here you can see Conjurer's Synergy. This passive grants your servant or remote servant spell 100% chance to conjure, to trigger Conjurer's Synergy. All group members get a increase the base damage of one fire or chromatic direct damage spell by 50%. So it's a nice little buff to everybody's spell damage. So, but it has to be fire or chromatic. So that is the only downside to that. Now, the upside to that is that mages have that and wizards have that. So if you're boxing multiple mages, you're gonna get a lot of damage out of that. And if you have a wizard, you will get damage out of it too. Other classes don't have as many. I think Druid has a fire nuke, but it just depends on the class from that point. So that's the thing there. Now, another thing we're talking about here is the Fickle line. We're going to come back to this here in a minute when we get to the spell, but Flames of Power is very important to what I'm going to talk about. So then we have Storm of the Mini. So this is the current level pet nuke, if I'm going to call it. So the more pets you have on the target, the more damage you do. Considering here, see you have the bolt is magnified by nearby summoned creatures. So 1 to 2 pets, it does 4,800, does nothing, horrible damage. 3 to 6 pets, 20,000, and 7 or more pets, 36,000 nuke. So the more pets on the target, the more damage. That is one of the reasons why I run mostly pet classes. I have the Beast Lord, the Shadow Knight, the Shaman. They all provide pets to get that up. Swarm pets count, so it's very nice to, you know, get that count up pretty high. So the more we have, the more damage we do, and it takes a few seconds to get all that up. There is a hastened right here focus ability for that makes it do 40% more damage. This goes all the way to 125. So it's something nice to have. But let's talk about Fickle configuration. So I got a comment on the last video saying that I didn't need to cast this spell because I have a bard. To the point, right? Now, I don't believe that is 100% true. So on its own, Fickle configuration has a chance to increase the damage of my next direct damage spell or lower it, right? So that on its own is like one of the reasons I like to cast it. But we also have Flames of Power here. So this is our Fickle Fire line of spells. Well, does it actually work on this spell? Let's see here. Fickle. Do I see Fickle? Yeah, there's Fickle configuration. Power Dena 2. So 34% chance to proc a Flames of Power 4, which has a 150% chance to increase our spell damage, right? It does work on this spell. So every time we cast Fickle configuration, we have a 34% chance to get one of these extra bonuses. Now, from the best I can see, they all stack, right? The Bard, 43% extra damage stacks. Flames of Power 4 here stacks. They all stack. And it's all extra damage. So if we get cast Spear, 348,000 damage, critical twin cast with another 247,000 damage. I don't feel like I need to stop casting Fickle Configuration. In fact, reading the 125 guides from the raid community that do raids, they cast the current level Fickle. So I'm not 100% sure where that guy was going with this. Maybe at his level, I think he was level 100. Maybe there is less benefit there on at that expansion level. But I'm on live, so it's a little bit different. I have access to everything, so it's kind of interesting how that goes. But yeah, so I'm not going to be taking Fickle Configuration out because it does help. It is a weaker nuke, obviously. It's 15,000 versus 26,000, but the benefits it provides, buffing the next spear, is kind of where I'm going with it. So there's that. Next up, we have Spear, which is our 26,000 nuke. This is our big fire nuke. It's level 105. Definitely a really powerhouse. I mean, you saw that 348,000 crit. Let's see what we get out of this one. We got another one. This one was another crit, but it didn't do as much. We got a twin cast on it too. 243,000, 253,000. So, I mean, in that one nuke, that's 500,000 damage, right? And it's pretty crazy. Next up, I have my air pet. I keep my air pet memmed at all times. Air pet is the pet I use. It's not the best pet. Water pet would do more damage. Earth pet would tank better, and fire sucks. I've never used a fire one for more than 2 seconds. It's just, I like air because it stuns, and having that stun is invaluable when you do not have a paladin or any other kind of stunning class in your group. Now, I do have a wizard. I don't have a enchanter, but I don't run stuns on my wizard, so it helps for what the way I like to play, and that's why I run an air pet versus a water pet. Now, the water pet would do more damage, but I don't think it's enough to even care. Coronal Skin, this is our current level skin spell. This adds just a little bit of extra damage to the tank's damage shield. I believe it's a certain amount of charges. If we look over here, where is it? Right here, 4 charges. It's going to be, a few thousand points of damage extra in those. So it's nice to have. It's not terribly important. I would say in a situation where you might want to use this more like you're trying to tank something down that you can't nuke directly, because I would assume this would be a DPS loss casting this in combat in all purposes. Now, I do have Fire Orb up right now. I like this spell. Let's summon one real quick and we can take a look at it here. So Fire Orb is a line of spells we get. There's one at every level, give or take. This is the 102 version. So it summons an object that gives 10 charges of a 26,000 nuke. Now, that's kind of nice because it is, like if I click it, right, it's instant cast. It crits, it twin cast. I mean, like that 205,000, 197,000. This is a fantastic spell. It's kind of tedious to cast. Like, I would say it's worth it in this situation that I'm doing 1 mage. When I move to 3 mages in the Huldred's Crusade series, you'll see I drop it for the Alliance spell to get even more damage out of the mages. But with running 1 mage, it is definitely worth keeping up at all times. And it is in my my spam button here to use item Firebound Orb on cooldown. So it's definitely something to always use. And then we have Greater Magnitude. Now, I was confused because this is a level 100 spell, and we do not get an upgrade to this until level 110. So for some reason, they did not upgrade this at 105. or any of the expansions since 100. So this is our, kind of like a harvest spell. It just gives us mana back. It's a long recast time, and I do it whenever I need mana. Then we have Dictomic Companion, which is a nice little pet buff. I do this in my multi-bind because it's a 1 minute reuse, but it increases the strength of the companion. It does some healing, does damage, increases all the damage that it does, and adds a powerful spell proc. I like it. I don't know if it's the best to use, but let's go over here, right? Let's get my air pet. Let's send him on right there. You can see him attacking, and he's a powerhouse, right? Like, he might already have it on him, because we're in the guild hall and nothing wears off. I don't see it though, so we'll cast here in a second. You can see here spells. He's got Lion's Roar from the Shaman. We cast that. Now he has right here, and somewhere else. Companion's Elemental Strike, I believe that's it. 37,000 damage. All this stuff. Dictomic Strike, 27,000. Companion Strike, 27,000. You can see the sheer amount of damage he's putting out with that. So it's definitely something worth casting to get that extra damage. And since it's such a long recast time, it is perfect for multi-bind because I don't have to worry about it casting again. I have it after my Swarm Pets because I believe my Swarm Pets will get benefit from it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Alright, next up I have Call of the Heroes. This is my absolute favorite spell. This is the reason why in every group I will make, unless it's a solo character, I will have a mage. This spell makes everything easier. Like, watch. This is how it works. All my characters are kind of like spread around here. I can just summon them with a single click, and they all go to wherever I'm at. And you see there. Boom. They're all there. Fantastic. What I like to do is run through the zone with my mage, pop a Drape of Shadows to drop all my aggro, and then summon all my characters to me. It saves me a lot of time, and it's just a fantastic ability. And then we have Dark Symbiosis, which is our current level mana regeneration pet drain. This takes life from the pet, gives it back to me as mana regen. And that is fair trade. Getting mana regen is probably the most important thing to me. I'm at 1,011 right now, which is pretty good. I think we got some other stuff going on right now. Like, there's some out of non-normal buffs going on, but the more mana regen we have, the more we can cast with spells. I'm currently using a wand at the moment, which has a chance to give me back mana when I cast a damaging spell, to kind of alleviate that, because if I run a two-hander, I do burn myself dry and hit the bottom of my my fuel reserves pretty quick. So being able to do that is beneficial to me. Other spells I cast are the Aura of Arcane Disselect. This will give our pets more damage. Let me see here. What does it look like? It's a fist. This one. Boost pet damage by 15%. That's an aura, so all pets get boosted by 15%. Fantastic. We do have damage shield. I do whatever damage shield I can cast. Extra damage is always great. It's a group shield, so it's good. Ice Flame Armaments. Now, let's see here. Should be on me still. It might have worn off. I don't see it here. Let's just cast it. So Ice Flame Ornaments is a defensive buff for the pet, allowing it... I thought it can. Is it this one? No. I don't know. It's a defensive buff, so it will, give defensive benefit. There it is, right there. So It's a ward. It every time something strikes the pet, it will proc them with an attack and perform a protective ward, which will take 2 strikes. So I run pet taunt on my warder and on my mage pet here. So every time they pull aggro, they get hit, there's a chance that procs. So it's kind of beneficial. And then we do burnout, which is the current level burnout here, which increases the damage, attack speed, attack rating, armor class, and strength of the pet. There's a new one every 5 levels. So you make sure you always update that. But that is like my normal spells. I do have like some summoning. I haven't updated these in a while to summon all the different weapons, armor, and visor. Like my pet, I don't have to micromanage the water pet. I mean, this pet, right? Like the air pet comes pre-summoned with all this junk, so I don't have to do anything. So it's not as much. Everything I'm told is pet weapons with procs will lower the pet DPS. So I stopped doing it for now. When I get all my characters to 125, we'll do some testing and see how much of a DPS loss it is with, you know, using different mages and stuff like that. We could see some really cool stuff there, but that's a whiles off. So that's all the spells I do. Everything else is kind of in these hotbars now. So my assist button, so all my characters are bound on 4 and 5, multi-bound wise. So you can see here, if I push anything on the hotbar, hitting 5, they all activate, or 4, they all activate. So keep that in mind when I talk about how this works. So X target 19 is the assist target. So if I go over here to my tank, I target the combat dummy right here, combat dummy Sana. It's already selected down here in my extended target window. So I just need to hit X target 19. I send my pet. I use the orb doing that huge click nuke, and then I use a mod rod if I need to. I use mod rods on cooldown if I have one summoned. I currently don't have one summoned right now, but there. 3 charges of extreme mana. Let's see here. What is this? 37,000 health for 12,000 mana. I'll take it any day of the week. And then pet swarm. I want my swarm pets that I have out attacking whatever I'm attacking. And then from there, I go into host of elements, which is more swarm pets. 3 level 107 swarm pets that would start going. Then I summon Remorseless Servant, and then I hit Companion, and then I do Twin Cast, and then I go into Fickle, Spear, Storm of the Many. Now, I have it in this order. That is not the order. That is supposed to be swapped. I just moved these down, so I think they got reversed. There we go. Nope. There we go. They got reversed when I switched them around. I do Storm first because that one is going to get the most benefit from having the most pets on the mob. And then we're going to do Fickle to get that Flames of Power proc chance. If not, we don't. Right? And then we have Spear as our spam ability. We spam this when we have nothing else to do. Why is that there? So we have Servant of Row is our current ability. We have Companion of Necessity. So let's talk about these. So Spirit of Row summons a giant fire elemental to do 24,000 nukes to the thing for about 60 seconds. Then we have Companion's Necessity, which summons a 105 elemental to kind of distract the target and build aggro, taking aggro off the group. And then we have, I'm live switching these around in order right now. Force of Elements here, which does 20,000 nuke. It's an AA instacast. It's pretty nice. Just boom. Don't even have to think about it. And how much does that do? 116,000 critical. So pretty nice. Then we have, there we go. This needs to be right there. We've turned summoned. Now we don't always fight summon mobs, but when we do, this is a nice little additional damage we can pull out, doing like Look at the damage on that. Turned, summoned, 440,000 damage, and a 5% chance to, it doesn't even feel right. That seems wrong. This number here seems broken in some way, because that's like 500,000 damage, and then the crit is, so something's wrong with this tooltip. Yeah, something seems wrong with that right now. I don't know what it is, but jeez, that seems broken. But it does, it pretty much disintegrates summoned mobs. Now there's not a whole lot of summoned mobs in the game. We're gonna see some here coming up in I think burning wood, and that's about it. Like, there's not much there. And then I finally have just at the very end, a pet swarm button. I don't think that one actually does anything, because the way macros work in a multi-bind, they don't ever actually work as well as you would think they would. But that is my multi-bind, and how I pretty much just spam one button to do everything. Like we can see here, I'm only pressing the 5 button for the next few seconds here. So servant, row, it gets locked sometimes, right? And then we're just getting all these Storm of the Many. We see how many pets we got out here. The pets are going to start building up. And what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pets, 7. I mean, I got 7 pets on my own right now. I don't know why that's locking up right now. So weird. There we go. Servant, fickle, yeah. I have no idea. Some lag or something, but it usually doesn't matter. You can see there, we're getting super damage coming out of here. I don't know why it is locking up. I haven't seen it like this lately. I think it's related to this, yeah, I think the Firebound Orb can cause that. I think this was trying to activate the items, and it just breaks the spell. So that might be a reason to drop the Firebound Orb, but it doesn't seem to do this most of the time when I'm playing, so I don't know. But you can see there, getting a lot of that damage out. Like if I click onto like another window, right, and click back, it should fix it. Or not, I don't know. But you can see there, we're going to do a group video with all the characters in Frontier Mountains to kind of see their actual DPS. That's why I don't have the DPS meter up in these videos, is you might see like, you know, like 100,000 DPS, right? But that's not practical. The DPS I can get on a combat dummy means absolutely nothing when a mob dies faster than you can possibly imagine. Especially with some of these crits that we get, you know, it's just kind of crazy to see, you know, some of that. So definite there. Let's see here. So that's all my spells, all my hotbars stuff. Let's talk about the burns. So we have a burn set up. I'm not 100% sure this is the best to do yet. But I have silent casting, lowers my hatred. I have Heart of the Skyfire, which will increase my damage of my spells by, what, 135%. Spire of the Elements, which will increase, what is that? Chance, direct damage will crit by 24%. And buffs my pet, so it's pretty nice. Improved Twin Cast, which will give me another Twin Cast. Forceful Rejuvenation, which will reset any spells over here that are on cooldown, except Twin Cast, which might just be Companion here. I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention to that. Let's see, we got Focus Arcanium, which will lower resist of the mob we're fighting. Thaumaturge's Focus, which will See here, increase the base damage of our direct damage spells and increase the chance they will crit by 10%. And then Arcane Whisper, which will reduce the target's hatred for us. So that's burn 2. Focus, there we go. Frenzied Companion. Frenzied Companion is... For some reason, it's not... Right, let's move that. Frenzied Companion right here. Increases our pet stats significantly, making them more offensive. And then we have use item. What is that? Use item 17. So this is the Empire's Kunark breastplate. Your command causes your pet to strike enemies with a fury, dealing 93/75 every time they bash or backstab. So our pet bashes, so that works perfectly. And then I have Blood Drinker's Coating in there, which gives me, I have one on me because this is my monk. Causes me to melee 2% of my damages as a life tap. So it's pretty nice and whatnot. So there we go. That's my burns. Is there burn 3? And Intensity Resolute, but that's not really that important. Let's talk about gear. So gear, the most important thing for a mage is the arms and the earring. We'll talk about these. See here, another one is the helmet. So these are the 3 most important things I would say. Obviously there's other ones that are important, but I would say these are the most important. The arms give the focus for fire spells to do 75% more damage. The earring allows pets to be summoned, what is this, enhanced minion 20. So we get, a little bit powerful, more minion, stronger pet, which is going to just do more damage. And then the hat is going to allow us to do more magic-based damage. Now, in certain mobs or certain encounters, you're going to want to switch out some of your fire nukes with the magic nuke. Just like I would say, switch out spear. That's the only one I would switch personally, but it just depends. Like I've noticed, some mobs are a little bit more resistant to fire than others, but that's up to you to figure out which ones those are, because I'm not gonna name them all. But you want to get these as the best you can. These are 105 usable Burning Lands tier 1 gear. Obviously the best you can get at 105, and this is the best you can get till I believe 110. So that'll be good. And I guess for reference, like this is 20. This is a 110 raid earring. It is 27. Yeah, 27. So this is a significant difference in pet power between 105 and 110. So something to keep in mind there. As you level up and stuff. It's always worth it to probably try and pick up a raid earring if you can. All right. I think that's everything. The rest of my gear is absolute trash. I have some Empires of Kunark tier 1 stuff, but that is like the best of what it is. Everything else is level 95 stuff. I just haven't upgraded. I don't plan on upgrading the tower gear. I'm going to go into conflagrant gear. I have some conflagrant on me here. That is where I'm going to be going with my gear at 106. Just because it is easy for me to obtain conflagrant gear. I can literally craft anything without much effort. So it is pretty easy to get. And I don't have to spend an arm and a leg trying to get it. So that is that. But that is the mage. That is where I'm at. I feel like the mage is my highest DPS character, no matter where I play. He beats my wizard in most cases. There's some cases where the wizard does a little bit more, but when we get into the group video, we'll see what the parse is, who's winning and who's not. But I feel like the mage, the way I'm playing it, is my highest DPS class. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you like the content, please subscribe, and you'll see more. I'm going to be making a 110 video, a 120 video, a 115 video, 125 video, and then another one at the end when we're max AA at 125 Outer Brood. So there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming for these characters and stuff like that. So thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.